ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Tonight Show. What a week! Trump met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to discuss the future safety of our Earth. What could possibly go wrong when a psychopath who wants to take over the world with the power to press a button that may cause a nuclear war and whose actions are so unpredictable that probably he doesn't even know what's going on in his head, and Kim Jong-un meet, right? Speaking of taking over the world, today marks the 55th anniversary of a company that's called Jcdecaux. A company everyone sees but nobody really knows about. Jcdecaux is the global #1 advertising technology company that is active in more than 4,000 cities around the world with over 1 million advertising panels spread across more than 80 countries. With such impressive numbers, we decided to bring the company a little closer to you and show you what is behind the company that produces digital advertising boards which plaster our cities all around the world. Reporter Maria Rogova is live in front of the Palace of Westminster in London. Maria, could you explain why Jcdecaux decided to go global in the first place?
Good afternoon, John. Jcdecaux has started in France and fast expanded out of the country to Belgium 2 years upon its establishment. It has secured a commercial contract with the city of Brussels, setting up advertising panels in exchange for providing the city with public furniture. An identical exchange advertising support is a concept the company initially installed in the cities across France. Thus, the similarity of the industry's development strategies have impacted their expansion to Belgium. There is a competitive driver present here, as the same language was spoken in two countries, making the company interdependent. Later in 1971, it has installed its furniture stores in Lisbon, making Portugal its first subsidiary outside in a non-French-speaking country. Their decision to globalize was driven by profit maximization, and up to date has brought the company $3.6 billion in revenue. Market driver was another one, as through the customers' lifestyles in the countries of Europe, where they started bus shelters advertising were very active. Thank you, and we're back to this too.
How exactly are they a multinational corporation?
Next question. M&E is an enterprise that controls and manages the production establishments located in at least two countries, engages in FDI, and owns and controls value-adding activities. Jcdecaux is globalized both in terms of space of place and space of flows. As to our company, it is present in countries across 6 continents and holds its main production facilities in Berlin, Paris, and Singapore. As we said earlier, competitor and market drivers were present in the company's expansion. To add more, the governmental driver also boosted the company's profits. For instance, 25% of its revenue was brought from the partnership with China. It has also been awarded the exclusive advertising management rights in Tokyo and Singapore, places that have previously had the strictest advertising regulations, with the latter refusing advertising of any kind in public spaces. There are multiple bus shelters now installed in Singapore, in the heart of the city's retail hub. An ability to meet the different customer needs and shape cities across the globe, developing the urban environment to their needs justifies Jcdecaux's reputation as the best-known M&E in the advertising.
Interesting, but what exactly makes them so special from their competitors? What is their competitive advantage?
The most competitive advantage comes from their differentiation and innovation. It has revolutionized the advertising panels by replacing sheet metals to backlit panels, making the advertisements more colorful and luminous. It has also invented the City Information Panel in 1972. This is a type of street furniture that displays city information on one side and advertising on the other, as well as devising new city postings. Initiating the 7-day campaign advertising, which offers more flexibility to the advertisers, it has further increased its competitive advantage. It has also worked in collaboration with renowned designers, beginning with Sir Norman Foster. Recently, it has started creating bespoke digital screens and proposed full digitalization of the bus shelters, beginning from London. This proves the dynamic thinking and development of the company. The company also shares the ability to diversify its activities in reaction to competitor attacks. Another evidence is their work with the global brands such as Coca-Cola, Unilever, Apple, and many more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. Now it's time to our expert, Levani Shalalashvili, who has got some more details on Decaux in Germany and how it faced numerous challenges during its expansion.
Jcdecaux has moved from acquisition to acquisition, enlarging its market share globally as we heard about their expansion to countries with the same spoken language. An issue they encountered, however, was during their expansion to Germany, as it has a huge market and it is the biggest industry in Europe. The decision to expand there was a favorable one to increase its global relationships. Now this relates back to the network theory, which emphasizes that a firm's internationalization is heavily dependent on the expansion of its relationships and networks. The entry to the German foreign market by Jcdecaux was equity-based mode by first collaborating with a local firm as a joint venture and later moving on to the acquisition of the existing firm. Jcdecaux had to leverage its international power to overthrow its German competitor Wall AG, which is a leading player in advertising and street furniture, who has had a major footprint in Germany in those fields back in 1998, especially in Berlin, which was always the heart of the company. They encountered a cultural challenge in Germany when Jcdecaux was asked to create a personalized bus shelter in Berlin. Jcdecaux denied the idea, replying that if the design was good for Paris, Marseille and Lyon, it should be good enough for Berlin, which resulted in Jcdecaux losing the contract. On the other hand, Hans Wall, the CEO of Wall AG, said the following in the interview.
Gott sei Dank die richtige Antwort in den Sinn, weil wir natürlich auch erkannten, dass es eine einmalige Chance für unser Unternehmen war. Da sagte ich zu dem Direktor Piefke, lieber Herr Direktor Piefke, wenn die BVG in Berlin Wartehäuschen aus Gold und Silber haben möchte, mit Diamanten obendrauf, wir machen alles für Berlin.
In order to fix this issue, Jcdecaux had to do what it does best, and that's acquisition. In December of 2001, Jcdecaux acquired a strategic 11.1% interest in Wall AG. Following that cooperation, in September of 2009, Jcdecaux received regulatory approval from the German competition authorities and acquired a majority stake in Wall AG, with the holdings increasing to a whopping 90.1% for an undisclosed price, putting a stronger emphasis on Jcdecaux being the #1 outdoor advertising company in Europe. Jean-François, the chairman and co-CEO of Jcdecaux, is quoted saying, "From now on, we can enter the competition for advertising contracts with municipalities from an even stronger basis." To eliminate future challenges, Jcdecaux's integration process after the acquisition was carefully managed, strengthening the structures of the company by bundling all of their activities in Germany into one single unit, benefiting the contractors by doing so as well. In November of 2018, Jcdecaux won an exclusive contract for their billboard advertisements with the Berlin Transport Authority for 6,200 advertising panels in over 4,600 bus and tram shelters in Berlin. The contract is expected to last until 2024, and this just showcases how Jcdecaux had a massive outreach in Germany throughout the years and Europe as well. Thank you, John.
Our correspondent Imogen Miller has been following the company for the previous decade and specifically analyzed the company's entry strategies in different markets. Imogen, what can you tell us about the entry options for the tech giant?
Thank you, Sean. Jcdecaux, whilst you may recognise the name, you do not recognise that decor touches your life every day. Decor adopted a first mover advantage entry strategy. Although decor did not create the idea of street furniture, decor was the first to identify the benefits of incorporating advertising into street furniture. The main motivation of pairing street furniture with advertising was because of the government crackdown on unregulated bill posted in public spaces. Decor promoted its business to municipal governments with the promise of providing high-quality, maintenance-free public service amenities in return for control over the advertising integrated into the street furniture. Decor's advertising strategy was simple, creating networks of local advertising agency partnerships. The idea of a network theory, creating relationships across borders with local partnerships, is vital if multinational corporations want to be successful when entering new markets. This is because of the readily available marketing company research that local companies occupy. As well, Decor's advertising strategy allows advertising agencies to retain ownerships of the furnishings. The independence of advertising agencies held under the contractual agreement with Decor was beneficial in strengthening partnerships in markets where the business and social culture differed. Strong partnerships brought local market knowledge, contacts and sometimes even customers. In addition to partnerships, Decor bought companies in different markets. Although buying a company is costly, it can also be beneficial. For example, it will immediately provide the status of being a local company with already acquired market knowledge, an established customer base, and being treated by the local government as a local firm. In 1999, Decor bought Avenir, a competing out-of-home media communications division. With this acquisition, Decor extended its product reach into billboards and transport advertising. As well, in 2013, Decor invested in South America, buying 85% of UMEX, an organisation that manufactured street furniture for Latin American continent. The result of this acquisition led to 500 people joining Decor, a strengthened position in Chile and Argentina, as well as entering 7 new countries. Thank you, Sean. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Imogen. We have a live connection to Gabriel Borja, a former executive of Advertismo de Chile, one of the leading Latin American billboard manufacturers. Thank you for joining us here today, Gabriel. In what way do you think Jcdecaux should restructure its globalization strategies?
Well, Jacques, the question we must all be asking is, can you teach old dogs new tricks? Speaking of which, Jcdecaux's one-size-fits-all has served them very well up till now. Even in China, whose explosive expansion in terms of urbanization and infrastructure saw Jcdecaux supply bus shelters for the expanding bus network. However, in recent times we have witnessed much change to the global order. The playing rules have changed, and so must Jcdecaux if they want to remain number one. Despite success in China, owning a car is rapidly becoming a norm for the Chinese population, and even seen as a sign of status. More cars mean less use of transport, making that venture less profitable. The political world has also seen many changes. More neoliberal policies in Western countries have meant the admin of street furniture and public transport infrastructure no longer under direct government control. Political stability in once stable nations have meant less friends for Jcdecaux, endangering their contracts. These challenges in the current status quo pose questions for Jcdecaux's current one-size-fits-all strategy. It hasn't always been successful, as in the past, Berlin's contract was lost due to a lack of personalization. Social media poses a credible threat to Jcdecaux's appeal with brands. Brands may opt for social media, as social media has the same far reach without the expensive price tag. Jcdecaux should start to move away from the one-size-fits-all strategy, as in the current climate, differentiation is now key. Personalized advertising is very much popular. Although the mass standardization has allowed Jcdecaux to achieve economies of scale, some form of personalization can be added, as a bus shelter in Paris is the same one you see in Berlin, London, and even Hong Kong. These changes to the current strategy should ensure they continue to grow far into the future. And with that, back to the studio.
Thank you very much indeed, Gabriel. I hope you've enjoyed today's show, and would like to now pass you on to our senior media strategist, Mr. Gerhard Spitzak, for a final commentary.
Jcdecaux is driven by the ability of generating revenue wherever it's possible. This is why it is a number one for out-of-home advertising, which covers nearly 4,000 cities in nearly 80 countries. Remarkable. How is it possible, you wonder? It is all due to the superior ability of negotiating contracts, even with the government. Relationships and social ties were always a foundation for business operations at Jcdecaux. This allowed the firm to enter the phase of constant internationalization. This is eased by the means of strong brand reputation, as well as through the presence of global corporate clients. The advertising industry is predicted to thrive. So is Jcdecaux.